Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Paramashivam, Paramashivam, and to Kailasa'S for the organization of this event and honoring me with this award. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Panmala Castro, for your inspiring leadership and for giving women courage and strength. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And next, Sri Kailasa is pleased to confer the Kailasa Devi Saraswati Arts and Culture Award under the category of the Kailasa Yellow Om to Ms. Svetlana Malakar. Ms. Svetlana Malakar is a graduated academic actress, and she has been a member of the Slovenian National Theatre, SNG drama, for more than 30 years. And she's also a filmmaker and TV actress. For the last 5 years, besides her basic work, she has also created a talk show on Slovenian national television, Zvezdana, where she uses her platform to share empowering and inspiring stories to help others go beyond limitations placed by society. She broke several taboos about skin color and gender and lives by the simple truth that every human being is beautiful, worthy of respect and admiration. She also practices Kundalini yoga and breathing techniques and is a proud mother to 3 sons and also a grandmother. We would now like to warmly welcome Ms. Malakar to share a few words.
Hello, did we hear each other and see each other?
Yes, we can hear you and see you.
Okay. First of all, zahvala njegovi božanski svetosti, da slišite moj slovenski jezik. I'm honored and touchable, and thank you to Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, His Divine Holiness, NITHYANANDA Paramashivam. Thank you. I'm touchable when I'm hearing all this story around the world, because in my country they try to stop us. They cut this talk show in TV, in national TV, without reason. We didn't speak political things or something like that. We just spoke about human being, how to fight the anger, how to fight against sickness, how to win the life, how to feel the other people. And it was so many beautiful stories about the people. And I gave so much freedom to the people, not me, we all together do it. And I'm sad now when I'm hearing this time in the world, it's not, it's starting to try to shut down the woman, but in the other side, I feel how much power we had, how much love we had, and we'll never stop. And please, I don't have a daughter. I have 3 sons. I raised them to be brave, to respect women, to respect the world, to respect every human being. And you must know, every single woman in the world is important to touch, to understand, to spread the love, and try to hear and to see each other. That's my message from Slovenia. So help us. Thanks. Thank you for everybody. I don't speak very good English, but I think that you understand me. Thank you. I love you from all my heart.
Thank you so much, Ms. Svetlana Malakar, for your extreme bravery, your dedication, your passion and for this beautiful and empowering message. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And next, Sri Kailasa is pleased to confer the Kailasa Devi Saraswati Arts and Culture Award under the category of the Kailasa Yellow Om to Miss Ursha Drofinik. Miss Drofinik is a fashion designer and has had a successful career over the last 15 years. She uses her creative touch and fashion to support women's expression of their uniqueness and femininity. Corsets, which have been embracing the female body for centuries, are a hallmark of Ursha's designs. Her designs have been repeatedly awarded at international competitions and is used in fashion shows in Slovenia and around the world, including the Miss Universe pageants. Although her work received great applause from the topmost in the fashion industry, Miss Drofinik remains grounded in her love for life, animals, and nature. She is a proud vegan and mom of two, and has a respected attitude towards food, ensuring zero food wastage. We would now like to warmly welcome Miss Drofinik to share a few words.
Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, and to Sri Kailasa. I'm a fashion designer. My vision for humanity is well-established Gurukul school. Thank you for your support.
Thank you so much, Ms. Drofinik, for sharing and for being here with us. Thank you so much. And next, Sri Kailasa is pleased to confer the Kailasa Devi Mariamman Health Science Award under the category of the Kailasa Yellow Om to Dr. Reena Johar. Dr. Reena Johar is the president of Disha Darshan, a non-profit organization based in California to help South Asian abused women. She is also the founder of Vishwa Hindu Jyoti in Fremont, California. Dr. Johar is a medical practitioner by profession and also practices law in both USA and India, and has worked with the American Red Cross as a certified trainer and disaster responder. Dr. Johar has been awarded the US President's Medal for Relief Work in the 2014 earthquake of Nepal and the San Jose floods. Dr. Johar's passion for serving humanity, protecting human rights and human relations, as well as her leadership in supporting those who are most needy, fuels her life, being an inspiration for several other young girls and women. We would like now to warmly welcome Dr. Johar to share a few words.
Thank you so very much. I am very honored. Greetings to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, and Sri Kailasa. My vision for humanity in relation to the theme of International Women's Day in 2022 is that I passionately believe in the saying by Eleanor Roosevelt that one woman with courage is a majority, and parents of girls should impart in their girls the courage to be independent, educated, and resourceful, and only then can there be equal gender equality for a sustainable tomorrow. And that alone will make the world enabled towards women empowerment, because women's rights are definitely human rights the world over. The theme for International Women's Day in 2022 is purple, green, and white. And I believe that this is very important because purple signifies justice and dignity, which women are still fighting for. Green symbolizes hope, and white represents purity. And I believe this alone is the essence of being a woman. And thank you very much for recognizing my efforts.
Thank you so much, Dr. Johar, for your sharing and for being here with us today. Thank you.
And next, Sri Kailasa is pleased to confer the Kailasa Bhudevi Earth and Environment Award under the category of the Kailasa Green Om to Professor Anne Paulina. Professor Anne Paulina is the co-chair of Indigenous Studies and a senior research fellow, Nulungu at the Nulungu Institute, the University of Notre Dame. She is a Nikina Wara Indigenous woman from the Kimberley region of Western Australia. Professor Paulina is the chair of the Mar-Tuwara Fitzroy River Council and is an active community leader, human and earth rights advocate, and a filmmaker. Professor Paulina holds a Doctor of Philosophy, Indigenous Wellbeing, a Doctor of Philosophy at First Law, a Master of Public Health and Tropical Medicine, a Master's of Education, and a Master of Arts in Indigenous Social Policy. She is a signatory to the Redstone Statement 2010 and helped drafted the first International Summit on Indigenous Environmental Philosophy, a Peter Cullen Fellow for Water Leadership. She was awarded a laureate from the Women's World Summit Foundation held in Geneva 2017. Professor Paulina believes that we can dream together as human beings and start to live in harmony and peace with each other and with our non-human families. So we would now like to warmly welcome Professor Paulina to share a few words.
Yeah, look, thank you very much. In recognition of International Women's Day, I want to acknowledge my sisters across the world who are working tirelessly to create peace and harmony. In my language, ngayunu nilawalan Paulina, ngayu imadawara manan, ngayo manda jaranyigana, ngayo nyigana nganga, nganga in my home. So in my language, I acknowledge the lands and the living waters of my people. I acknowledge ancestral beings who form the sacred living waters of the Marawara, known as the Fitzroy River. I acknowledge the sacred ancestral serpent beings who are the rivers of life. And I send greetings to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Paramashivam and Paramashiva and Srila Kailasa, who are uniting nations for feminine empowerment and gender equity. I acknowledge and send blessings across the globe in a time when we are recognized and celebrate the Kailasa'S Award. And I want to say that this is indeed an honor to be here standing with all of you as we look across the globe and wonder what is happening amongst human to human and multi-species justice. I want to thank the event organizers for hosting the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa and for the First Nations for Hindus. I acknowledge the Hindu diaspora and the transformative work that they are doing across the globe. I believe the work that is happening here in our country, their new home, Australia, is transforming communities, societies in which they live, love, and share their work. I'm indeed honored to receive the award, and this demonstrates to me that the voices of the poor and the most vulnerable is reaching out across the oceans, and we share and privilege our voices across the globe. There is much our people share in our beliefs, in our values, in our spirituality, and the need to share and learn and transform a custodial ethics of care and attention for Mother Earth and all people. I am blessed and humbled in the recognition of our work towards building and strengthening humanity through diversity, through unity, through healing and well-being, not just for humans, but for multi-species justice. Kalio Mabu, and thank all of my sisters sitting on the screen tonight. It is indeed an honor to reach out on this day and reach out to you and hear your spirit and hear your celebration, not your cries. So thank you very much. Kalio Mabu, thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Paulina, for all the work that you have done and continue to do to protect Mother Earth and from promoting a peaceful coexistence among all beings. Thank you so much. And Sri Kailasa is now pleased to present the Kailasa Mitra Awards. And to do so, I will hand over to...
Yes, thank you, Makatita. So Sri Kailasa is now pleased to present the Kailasa Mitra Awards. The Kailasa Mitra Award is conferred to individuals for their dedication to cultivate long-lasting friendship with Kailasa. So now Kailasa is pleased to confer the Kailasa Mitra Award to Sister Uma Devnath, coordinator of Brahma Kumari's Sangre Grande Center of Trinidad and Tobago. Sister Uma Devnath is a representative of the Brahma Kumari's World Spiritual Organization, the headquarters of which is in Mount Abu, Rajasthan, India. Presently, she is the coordinator of the Sangre Grande branch of this institution. Over the past 30 years that she has spent with the spiritual organization has truly enhanced her life. She shares that through meditation and yoga, the clarity and understanding of this knowledge that explains the difference between the eternal soul and the body resonates within her and allows her to live her innate qualities effortlessly in a very practical way. We would like now to warmly welcome Sister Uma Devnath to share a few words.
Thank you, Ma, for welcoming me. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru, Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, and the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa. Namaste, Om Shanti. Greetings of peace and divine love. Firstly, I would like to thank Swamiji for awarding us on this International Women's Day. I would like to quote few thoughts from my seniors. The meaning of woman. W means willpower. O means oneness. M means might. E means enlightenment. And N means nobility. And this is what women really stands for. On this International Women's Day, this is the message I would like to share to all of our awardees today and across the globe, all the mothers and sisters. Happy, happy Women's Day. I must say I am honored to receive this Mitra Award. But as well, I would like to acknowledge others for allowing me to receive this Mitra Award on behalf of them. Firstly, I would like to acknowledge my physical family, my deceased mother and father, my brother, my sisters, in-laws, niece, nephews, aunts, uncles, friends and neighbors. I would like to say to them, this Mitra Award is being received on behalf of them as well. To my religious family in Sangre Grande, the Sai Baba organization, the temples, the churches, the mosques, the business people, each and every one in the community of Sangre Grande. I would like to say to all of you, I know many of you are looking onto the program today. This award is being received on behalf of all of you. And to my spiritual family, of Sunny Grande, Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension Canada, I want to say to all of you, this Mitra Award is being received on behalf of all of you. To Swamiji, on this International Women's Day, I want to say to you, thank you. Thank you, Swamiji. I am honored to receive this award today on behalf of my 3 groups of family members. Thank you, Sri Kailasa, for nominating me for this Sri Mitra Award. Thank you. I am honored to receive the award now. Thank you very much. Om Shanti and greetings of peace.
Thank you so much, Sister Uma, for your wise words, your dedication, and for all the work you do to empower women and the society. Thank you so much. And now we have 2 more awards, the Kailasa Ratna Award, the Kailasa'S highest civilian award, and the Kailasa Bhushan Award, awarded to those having achieved excellence in arts and culture. The 2 awards will be conferred personally by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam. So now, as we get ready to receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, let us take a glimpse into his early work to establish Sri Kailasa. So as we can see here on the slide, when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was very young, the temple monastery complex of his guru, Mataji Vibhutananda Puri in Tiruvannamalai, was built brick by brick by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was guided by his guru and he just followed. In 2001, when he was just 23 years of age, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism established the first Kailasa temple monastery in Tiruchengood, South India. And just 2 years later, he established the headquarters of the Kailasa, the Adi Kailasa Sarvanyapeetham in South India. And as we can see here, when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was very young, at the age of 26, he conducted mass living enlightenment initiation conventions, taking people, thousands and thousands of people, through powerful cleansing processes of the 7 energy chakras. He was welcomed with proclamation messages from mayors and other statesmen from countries, for example, the US, and he was welcomed by the mayor of the St. Louis with a proclamation message. And as we can see here on the slide, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted mass living enlightenment conventions in many countries, attracting thousands of people, such as in India and in the US. And here again, we can see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where he is initiating and teaching thousands of people during the Kumbh Mela in 2015 in Nasik, where again he initiated thousands and thousands of people into mass enlightenment. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism met with other religious leaders, as we can see here on the picture. Next slide, please.
So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism's tireless efforts culminated in the creation of 108 humanitarian initiatives, the Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations, also called as SCUN. And the SCUN supports a variety of humanitarian services, which collectively allows for the creation of an enlightened, peaceful, sustainable, equitable, resilient, and thriving world. The 108 SKUN or SCUN initiatives align to the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals and expands onto many other initiatives, incorporating other elements which are rooted in the ancient sciences of Hinduism, universal practical applications to bring about time-tested, foolproof, lasting solutions to the world's problems, whether it's economical, environmental, or social. And Sri Kailasa stands to revive Vedic feminism as a culture. And here are just a few examples which briefly highlights the work being done by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and Kailasa through the Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for Female Empowerment and Gender Equality, the Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for Matriarchal Civilizations, and the Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations for Indigenous Women.
Sri Kailasa Uniting Nations, Feminine Empowerment and Gender Equality. The Kailasa'S Yogini Sarvanyapita establishes yoga and meditation universities and campuses to empower the quality of life of women, with emphasis on life solutions based on the science of enlightenment and leadership, empowering women who have experienced or are experiencing wrongful gender stereotyping, gender-based violence, and lack of inclusive and quality learning environments. The Kailasa'S Nityananda Lakshmi is a microfinancing service to indigenous communities to empower rural women in various dimensions in life, reforming the market and institutional failures that lock women to highly vulnerable forms of employment and empower them with self-employment with equal opportunities through Hindu economic principles.
Thank you, Ma Vijaypriya. And another such example is the Kailasa'S Women Foundation and Women Empowerment Self-Help Centers, launched in 108 locations around the world since 2009. And these centers work towards gaining economic independence, providing collective finance, enterprise, and livelihood components, including savings and loans, group credit, collective income generation, and micro-insurance, as well as financial education and support for organizing themselves into labor and trade groups. And last but not least is the Kailasa'S Ankita program, providing foundational edification about working of basic community service and infrastructure establishment.
The sovereign state of Sri Kailasa. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism established the sovereign state of Sri Kailasa for not only the persecuted Hindus, but for all the world's practicing and aspiring Hindus. Kailasa is the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. It is not a competition for India, Nepal, Bali, Cambodia, nor any country. Kailasa is in fact only complementing these nations. It is a seed bank for Hinduism with a vision of enlightened living for all of humanity, which is rooted in the fundamental principle of Advaita or oneness. The idea that all beings can live in peace and harmony, and that all beings, all human beings are equal and divine and can reach their highest potential, irrespective of nationality, religion, gender, etc. Kailasa's vision is to revive and share with today's world the practical applications of the greater sciences of authentic Hinduism. Kailasa has created thousands of enlightenment ecosystems around the world.
Moreover, Kailasa has sovereign territory in more than one place. In its sovereign territory, Kailasa has its own Supreme Court and is also successful in achieving civil court status in 3 countries. Kailasa has the license to run banks in more than 27 places, and in 6 countries, Kailasa's currency has been accepted as mainstream currency, with acceptance as private currency in 2 more countries.
The sovereign state of Sri Kailasa has established bilateral relations with 8 cities plus 1 state across 6 countries. For example, the city of South Euclid in Ohio, USA, the Entebbe municipality of the Republic of Uganda, the city of Kampala of the Republic of Uganda, the Jinja city of the Republic of Uganda, the Dengriga town in Belize, Mwanza city of the Republic of Tanzania, Melekeok state, the Republic of Palau, Dia Dawa city of Ethiopia, and Alba Minch city of Ethiopia. In terms of recent achievements, 115 proclamations and certificates of recognitions from statesmen across 14 countries were conferred to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, just in the last year. Earlier this year as well, 37 cities across 4 countries have declared January 3rd, the incarnation day of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, as Kailasa'S SPH Nityananda Day. And as we can see here on the slide, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has received many congressional recognitions from the United States senators and congressmen. For example, we have from the US Senator Tina Smith from Virginia, from the Congresswoman from California, Congressman from Colorado, from Maryland, from the the Texas House of Representatives, the US Congressman from Ohio, and the US Senator from Virginia, Tim Kaine, as we can see on the slide. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has received many proclamations from other countries as well, such as Tanzania, India, Belize, Palau, and so on. And now, as we get ready to receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, who will personally be conferring the Kailasa Bhushan Award, as well as the most awaited, the Ratnamani Award, Kailasa's highest civilian award, and who will be delivering the presidential address on the most auspicious celebration of the International Women's Day. So now, as we get ready, I would like to invite Ms. Lauren King, who will be receiving the Kailasa Bhushan Award, awarded to those for having achieved excellence in arts and culture. Ms. Lauren King, I would like to now invite you to share a few words with us, and I would like to ask you a few questions, if you would kindly share with us. So, Ms. Lauren King, based on your experience, how important are women in decision-making process?
First of all, I'm so honored to be here. I can't believe the company of the women that I'm with and how accomplished everybody is and everything that everybody's doing. It makes me just feel like, why am I here? But what I'm going to say is I think women are the heart of the world. And I think it starts first it starts with every individual from yourself every day. Do everything that you can to help everyone around you. The second thing I want to say is be that person. You have to be the perfect person yourself and do everything right, so that everybody can follow in your example, and to raise your consciousness as much as you can so that you can elevate everybody around you. But anyway, I just want to thank Swami. I think and as far as the question, what are women? Well, I think, what is a man without a woman? And, I think the women are the heart of the world. The men are the warriors and the protectors and the provider. But the woman takes care of the family and the heart. And then without women, I'm going to give a small example. My son just got married at 25 to his high school sweetheart. This kid lived in his house with a hoodie, never got off the PlayStation, never stuck a dish in the dishwasher. I mean, so they were engaged for a long time because of the pandemic. And I kept thinking, wow, wait till she sees what she's getting, This woman in 6 months has turned this child around more than I could in 26 years. This kid is no longer on the PlayStation. He stopped vaping. He's walking the dog. He's protecting her. They spend the weekends at going around getting things for the family. He's exercising. He's cutting his hair. This woman has done more for this boy than anybody could, any mother could, anybody. And that's the power of a woman just for one person. So can you imagine all of us together, what we can do for the world? Anyway, thank you, Swami. Swami, I love you. You've had a place in my heart. You've bestowed miracles upon my family. You gave blessings to my husband and healed him and made a big difference in my life. And I hope now that, life is changing, I hope I've lived so long to be at this stage in my life. And I hope in the back nine that I can continue with spiritual pursuits and do whatever I can to raise my own consciousness and the consciousness of everybody around me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Lauren King, for sharing and for your dedication and for all the work you do for women empowerment. And before we continue, it's important to share about Ms. Lauren King. So I would like to share a few sentences about Ms. Lauren King. So Ms. Lauren King is a highly respected member of the design community. She has been working in the field since 1977. And Ms. Lauren King has a vast experience in commercial, residential, and hospitality design, as well as a painting background, having earned a painting major at Carnegie Mellon University. Ms. King applies these fine art principles and aesthetics in her three-dimensional interior design works. Ms. Lauren King's designs have been featured in numerous prestigious publications, such as Architectural Digest in 2011, the Los Angeles Confidential in 2006, as well as House and Garden. Ms. King is very involved in her community with a strong interest in architectural preservation. She has served on the board of the Los Angeles Conservancy Bel Air Garden Club and has been on the executive board of the Museum of Contemporary Art. Ms. King serves as a board member of the Colleagues Serving the Children's Institute with her charitable activism and being diverse and far-reaching, much of it having to do with children. And now, Ms. Lauren King, based on your work that you've been doing towards, charitable activism, especially with children and girls, in your opinion, what is it that is still in 2022 women and girls have to fight for their rights?
I think in America, women, if you think back, we've just been voting since, the early, since 1920. But America has come so much farther than so many countries in the world for their, giving their rights to women. And I think that we have to band together and somehow with the internet and everything else that's going on in the world, be able to reach out to women all over the world to stand up for themselves, because we actually have the power if we take it, and you can't let men oppress you. And if you do, you'll never have a good society. So I think we should all work together to help the women everywhere, not just the women in free countries, the women everywhere, find their voice, band together and stand up together for the equality for women.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Lauren King. And in your opinions, what would be the efforts that we can make as a society to bridge the gender gap equality? As we have seen in the presentation, even today, there's a gender gap of 100 years. And because of COVID, this gender gap has increased to 136 years. So in your opinion, what would make as a society, what efforts should the society make to bridge the gender gap equality?
Okay, I'm going to start by saying that there are many roads. There are many roads to divinity. There are many roads to freedom. Everybody has to allow everybody the freedom to vote for who you want to vote for, to be who you want to be, to do what you want to do and say what you want to say without judging. There are a million opinions. My husband and I were always on the different side of politics. We used to cancel out each other's votes, but we allowed each other to have an opinion. And as far as gender, California is doing a wonderful job with gender, and America in general. Our young people, it's a little bit much for me, but they're everybody, and they're no longer saying Miss and Mrs. and Miss. Now they're calling themselves a they, and America is doing, and the young people and the colleges in America and the schools in America are doing the most wonderful job for gender equality. Everybody just has to allow everybody to be who they are and not pass judgment.
Yes, thank you, Ms. King, for sharing and for your opinions, and for what you're doing really to bring to close this gender gap. And lastly, we would like to ask you, as an artist, what was the source of inspiration of your work as an artist, as an antique art collector? What was the source of your inspiration?
A funny question to ask, but the answer to this is the answer to my inspiration for everything in my life. Who they are and not pass judgment.
I think you're muted.
Okay, so the inspiration for my art is the same as my inspiration for anything in my life. I used to say as a young girl that when I was having design projects and I had no idea, I would always take whatever project came, even if I had no idea how to do it. I knew I would learn, and I would tell everybody I go to sleep at night and I figure it out. And the funny part of my life is at the back nine of my life now, I'm no longer interested in the same things. I'm not interested in all the things. And, I went from a maximalist and now I'm kind of a minimalist. But the thing that inspired me for art and design is the same thing that inspires me every day of my life, that you have to center yourself. You have to actually listen to your divine inspiration. You have to quiet your mind so that you're able to access the divine. And that's where you get your information for art, for painting, for design, but you also get the same inspiration for what you're supposed to do today, what you're supposed to do tomorrow, the advice you're supposed to give other people. And from that divine inspiration is the way you find out what you're supposed to be doing and how to lead your life.
Thank you, Ms. King. Thank you so much for sharing on the importance of freedom and for being an inspiration for the next generation around the world. And now, as we get ready to welcome the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to confer the Kailasa Ratna Award and the Kailasa Bhushan Award, we will now be watching a short documentary on the work of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and how Sri Kailasa was established to empower women, for women to have a place to express their divinity.
Paramashiva is good. We love him not just because he gives us what we want, but because he is good, and he has so much to offer to the world that makes the best nation. Hindu God has life positive, all-inclusive, good, spiritual, social, His Divine Holiness was birthed by his predecessors of enlightened masters, great rishis, munis, siddhas, who predicted and recognized his divine Kailasa, the good God country. Hinduism has something great to offer. Hindu God Paramashiva is good. We love him not just because he gives us what we want, but because he is good, and he has so much to offer to the world that makes the best nation. Hindu God has life positive, all-inclusive, good, spiritual, social, political, and moral principles. Hindu principles are guaranteed solutions for all the major problems of humanity: resettlement, violence and lawfare, impoverishment, inequality, environmental footprint, pandemic and biowar, disputes, feminist movement, women's rights, child rights, minority rights, linguistic rights, human rights. Because Hinduism has the best to offer to the world, Kailasa, standing tall since 1994 for the grand narrative of Hinduism, is the good God's country. Founder of Kailasa, Paramashiva, and his 1008th incarnation, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, is the reviver of Kailasa, the enlightened civilization, the greatest Hindu nation. His Divine Holiness was birthed by his predecessors of enlightened masters, great rishis, munis, siddhas, who predicted and recognized His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, as an incarnation of Paramashiva, as per the science of incarnation described in Hinduism. From his first Chaturmasya at the age of 3 in the year 1980 until the age of 16 in the year 1994, the Supreme Pontiff was trained for the revival of Kailasa. He began reviving Kailasa from the age of 16 after the coronation on the 25th May 1994. Kailasa that we see today is 26 years of sincere hard work of the reviver and Hindu diaspora all over the world. Kailasa has a potential population of 2 billion Hindus worldwide, with over 100 million applications to its citizenship already applied. Hinduism has stood over 10,000 years as an enlightened civilization, has been a global beacon of spiritual and timeless wisdom, technology, and culture.
He's wearing a grey jacket. His name is Boris.
The world's ancient civilization produced more than 40% of the world's GDP.
Purpose of life is to experience oneness with the ultimate reality, Paramashiva. Life exists on the planet Earth for last 40 billion years, and 5 times life faced complete extinction on the planet Earth. But somewhere one DNA, one cell, living organism is thrown out of planet Earth, preserved inside a volcano rock. After millions of years comes back to Earth due to gravity or whatever reason, gets into the ocean and starts the life again. Sanatana Hindu Dharma is the conscious science to give breakthrough to your DNA through natural selection process and to your consciousness through the conscious decision process. Sanatana Hindu Dharma is a sacred spiritual science. It is not bunch of do's and don'ts. No. Please understand, it is the revelations of sacred truths, cosmic truths, powerful cognition. It is still alive, that science is available, time-tested, foolproof. This science of living enlightenment is the complete solution for all the problems individual or society or modern day humanity is facing. Then you will understand all the problems of the modern day humanity. Sanatana Hindu Dharma is solution. Whether the terrorism or climate change, natural calamities or man-made calamities, for all the problems humanity is facing, the only solution is science of living enlightenment. revealed by Paramashiva from the Vedagamas in the modern day through this body. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by any revolution, but by evolution and setting model communities. Understand? Kailasa is reviving the ancient Hindu enlightened civilization. Paramashiva manifested this Kailasa Mandala, the enlightenment ecosystem and the lifestyle. I am going to revive this whole enlightenment ecosystem, Kailasa, by creating a model Kailasas all over the world. I will work sincerely and revive this spiritual science, which is the core for enlightenment ecosystem, making you all manifest the state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness and Kailasa of Paramashiva, and making all of us manifest Paramashiva.
In a world ravaged by war, ecological destruction, hatred and division, Kailasa stands as a bold vision of human potential, coexistence, organic living, and alignment with nature. Over the past 50 years, the world has seen the creation of dozens of new countries, and so if anything, it would be odd not to see a new country formed in the 21st century. Without the protection of political legitimacy, there is an imminent danger that the great tenets, scriptures, and science of creating an enlightened civilization, which spanned 56 states, 200 kingdoms, 1,700 samsthanas, and 10,000 sampradayas, will be forever lost to humanity. The Hindu diaspora are highly successful around the world. They formed the dispossessed diaspora who has been driven to other countries because they are unable to practice their religion authentically in their own country. They have flourished in countries where they have been allowed to settle with religious freedom. For example, in the United States, Hindus are the most educated and highest earning community, with 77% of them holding a bachelor's degree and 48% having an income of $100,000 or more. Although they are only 1% of the population, Hindus have launched 13.5% of the startups in the USA. They hold leadership, technical and creative positions in companies such as Microsoft, Google, Facebook, etc. This success has been repeated around the world, in the UK, Canada, Australia, etc. James Kirkup, in his 2015 Telegraph article says, British Indians are not just the most successful immigrant group in this country's recent history, but the most successful group of people, full stop. He continues, more extraordinary than the rise in numbers is how it has taken place so harmoniously and profitably for this country and those in it. British Indians, quite simply, are among the most industrious, accomplished, and credible amongst us. The best of British, if you like. The same article says that British Hindus are barely 2% of the population, but 12% of all the doctors. Australia and Canada have understood the ingredients of fast economic growth of the country and are doing everything to attract the educated, rich Hindu community. Hindus are the fastest growing migrant population in Australia. In 2017, 200% more Hindus have received invitation for Canadian Permanent Residency Program. Even now, the Hindu diaspora worldwide are the richest. No divorce, have no cases of drugs and substance abuse, lowest mental disorder, no depression, Hinduism is the only religion which neither converts nor kills. Absolutely non-violent, the elite sect of mankind. Because the Hindu diaspora worldwide and the Supreme Pontiff are successful in spreading their spiritual Hindu message of openness and inclusiveness against the forces of hatred and exclusivity, they have become the victims of relentless attacks by multi-armed apparatus of state power. Anti-Hindu forces, extremist caste, supremacist militant organization want a one ideology, Hinduism, under their exclusive domain. What they cannot digest into themselves, they systematically delegitimize and exterminate. Lawfare, assassination attempts, character assassination of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam. Attempted assassination and assassinated Kailasa'S. Sexual assaults and rape of female monks of Kailasa. Objectification. Character assassination. State-funded child abuse and sexual abuse on the children of Kailasa.
Then I told I don't want to see a picture. Then I told I don't want to see a picture. Then they showed my picture.
State-operated embezzlement of funds, properties and assets donated by the Hindu diaspora worldwide for the purpose of the revival of Kailasa. Since 1994 up to until now. Building a nation is not a project accomplished overnight or by virtue of hope. Kailasa is the manifestation of 26 years of sincere hard work, sacrifices, integrity of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, and the Hindu diaspora worldwide for the past 26 years for the enlightenment of humanity.
Your decision to struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava. Stand. Be a conscious woman or man. Be conscious being. Shrink the time through conscious will persistence. Make the future into present by being ferocious with yourself. time itself is nothing but your decision to struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava. Stand. Be a conscious woman or man. Be conscious being. Shrink the time through conscious will persistence. Make the future into present by being ferocious with yourself. Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. I guarantee you, I will reach you wherever you are. Be alive, somehow be alive for next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. It's my commitment to humanity. I'm going to empower, enlighten each and every one of you with the fuel and energy of the parallel universe. I'll infuse this intense supernal effulgence DNA, Tejas, Ojas, Kundalini Shakti into your spine to consciously lift you to Maha Kailasa. It is irreversible permanent enlightenment, irreversible power manifestation, irreversible permanent empowerment. Your consciousness as power at this moment to swallow, digest, clean up all negativity and all toxins. Develop a powerful will persistence. That's the most important asset for life. I am not giving you some life positive blah blah. I am giving you the facts of life. I am triggering your consciousness. I am your Guru. I will make you enlightened. It's my commitment. Till you become Paramashiva, I won't rest. Don't worry at all. To all my disciples, I give you this as a boon. I'll swallow everything with which you are stuck and liberate you all. The moment you decide, your consciousness is the supreme identity you have. You will not empower your depression, your frustration, deal your problems, whether it is simple headache or depression, or the worst suicidal patterns, or life negativity, only through consciousness. Don't go for any other solution. Don't keep stupid, toxic, life negative struggles inside. Greater signs of life can be realized with a greater ability to visualize. Greater signs is the equivalent word for Hinduism. When you understand the greater signs of life, greater courage, more possibility, more fearlessness, more joy, more bliss. When you visualize Paramashiva with 25 heads, 75 eyes, 50 hands, your consciousness becomes ferocious, and that ability to visualize, you will get involved in everything deeply. Involved people are the most delicious, most sweet, most beautiful, most juiciest beings of planet Earth. Time itself is nothing but your decision to struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava. Stand. Be a conscious woman or man. Be conscious being. Shrink the time through conscious will persistence. Make the future into present by being ferocious with yourself. Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. I guarantee you, I will reach you wherever you are. Be alive, somehow be alive for next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. It's my commitment to humanity. I'm going to empower, enlighten each and every one of you with the fuel and energy of the parallel universe. I'll infuse this intense supernal effulgence DNA, Tejas, Ojas, Kundalini Shakti into your spine to consciously lift you to Kailasa. It is irreversible permanent enlightenment, irreversible power manifestation, irreversible permanent empowerment.
Nithyanandam. So now, as we are getting ready to receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and for him to grace us with his presence and the presidential address, I would like now to welcome our next guest, who has shown extraordinary courage and resilience in the midst of persecution. We are delighted to welcome Ma Prana Priya Nityananda today, as she's a source of inspiration for so many women around the world. Ma Prana Priya is the administrator of the Adi Kailasa in Bengaluru, India, which is the headquarters of Kailasa in the east. And Ma Prana Priya was also the administrator of the Yogini Sarvanya Peetham in Gujarat, India. As we have seen through today's presentation, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been tirelessly working for the revival of feminism as per Hindu principles. For his progressive views and efforts, he has been the target of relentless persecution. However, despite attempts on his very life, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has successfully revived the Rudra Kanya Sampradaya, which is one of the backbones of the ancient Hindu enlightened civilization. So today, we have with us Ma Prana Priya, who is a brahmacharini of the Nityananda Sannyas Sampradaya order. Ma Prana Priya has directly experienced the persecution on the Gujarat Sarvanya Peetham, as she was the lead administrator. Ma Prana Priya was arrested by the state on false charges, even without a warrant. She was kept under the custody for almost 3 months and unfairly treated for knowing English better than the local dialect. Upon jail, the court restrained her from leaving the city, while all hotels of the city refused accommodation to them, citing fears of police reprisal. These circumstances forced the nuns to live on the streets during the COVID-19 pandemic and lockdown. And so now, Ma Prana Priya, we welcome you, and we are very pleased and fortunate to have you with us today. And if you could please share with us what place is given to women as per Hinduism, and how the revival of the Yogini Sarvanya Peetham in Gujarat by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was the revival of the glory of Hindu feminism.
Thank you so much for your kind words. Thank you all. And it is such a pleasure and honor to be in this platform and with all the esteemed guests of honor and this whole event. Thank you so much for this honor, and it's my pleasure, and I really would like to share the amount of progressive ideologies and the contribution that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has contributed towards the revival of Hindu feminism. So, Ma Vijay, would you like to repeat the question? Sorry, I had some audio issues.
Yes. So yes, if you could please share with us what place is given to women as per Hinduism, and how the revival of the Yogini Sarvanya Peetham in Gujarat by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was the revival of the glory of Hindu feminism.
Yes. So, first of all, in Hinduism, female bodies are considered as divine feminine consciousness. It is entirely based on the Hindu principle of divine feminine consciousness, where woman is worshipped, the gods rejoice, and there is a pramana. There's a saying in the one of the pramana which clearly talks about, if the woman is worshipped in that place, there is the welfare of the community is immense, and if the woman is not treated well, that reflects on the welfare of the community. So in each and every segment, or in each and every aspect of how feminism was revived in Hinduism is something really extraordinary, because they are never considered as they are always considered as divine feminine consciousness with extraordinary possibilities for them to express in every aspects of life.
Yes, Nityananda, it seems that Ma Pranapriya is having a technical glitch, and she will be joining us shortly. Yes, Ma Pranapriya.
Yes. So as I was sharing earlier, in Hinduism, women is treated as divine feminine consciousness. She's always empowered with enormous possibilities, always encouraged and revered for expressing these possibilities as life energy itself. So and women is always worshipped. The mother worship is one of the salient features in Hinduism.
Yes, thank you, Ma Pranapriya. And as you said, our sacred Hindu scriptures clearly state how the benefit to the community is immense when women are worshipped and empowered. The attack on the Yogini Sarvanyapita is a complete violation of what is written in the very scriptures. Women and girls' rights were violated in many ways. And my next question is, if you could please share how, as the lead administrator of the Yogini Sarvanyapita in Gujarat, you have been a direct target of persecution. If you could please walk us through what happened.
Yes. So before I explain the attack on the Yogini Sarvanyapita, just would like to share the grand vision that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, held for women monks in Yogini Sarvanyapita. In the revival of Yogini Sarvanyapita, what are the basic principles and how it is extremely important for the revival of yoginis and especially the Hindu feminism by itself. So in 13th century, yoginis existed, and these yoginis are known for their power manifesting abilities. So in Hinduism, one of the gifts that Paramashiva, the primordial Hindu divinity, shares with the humanity is the power to express superconscious, the ability to express superconscious powers. And these yoginis who existed in 13th century, they are empowered and blessed to express extraordinary powers. And these powers were used for healing humanity, healing and spreading peace in the humanity. So they were extremely brave. They expressed 64 arts. They expressed healing powers. They were extremely beautiful, and they were progressive in nature. So this is how the Hindu feminine bodies used to be in 13th century, and because of this, and they always existed in communities as a group of female monks who practice certain principles, and they contribute to the community in a very big way, in a very bold way. They do not wait for somebody to appreciate, somebody to acknowledge who they are. There is such strong inner image that they used to hold. So this is how the Hindu feminism grew in 13th century. But because of persecution that this clan went through due to the Hindu mystic elements, the entire clan was subjected to genocide, actually. So they targeted this Yoginis community in a very specific way. They used vulgar language. They questioned their character. They actually they actually did a programmed confusion amongst the community and started labeling them as prostitutes. So this kind of false propaganda was subjected on these yoginis right from 13th century. It actually, it was there at least for about 100 years, and after which the complete genocide of this clan happened. So this whole clan of yoginis were used to exist in a place called Hirapur. 64 yoginis used to coexist together, expressing extraordinary powers of Paramashiva. So, so this clan was completely destroyed and defamed, actually. So the very name yogini actually was considered as a taboo. This was the false propaganda that this anti-Hindu elements used to destroy the entire community. So this progressive women community was destroyed, and after which so many other false narratives was depicted on Hindu female monks, especially Hindu female monks. They were falsely called as court dancers. They were falsely called as prostitutes. Like this continuous false information, false propaganda was spread systematically by these anti-Hindu elements. So when I say systematically, this kind of false propaganda was actually infused in the field of education, in the field of the communities, especially the temple communities. So in every important aspect, important aspect of the community, where previously feminine bodies used to express such authority and compelling leadership, in all those places, these false propaganda was spread. So as this false propaganda was spreading, people lost their credibility. The very self-confidence of Hindu feminine monks was completely uprooted from the because of this. So even to tell you the fact, when I was a kid in the school, the kind of ideas, false ideas that I was subjected to, it never really made me feel that I can be a confident Hindu female in any day. So there was a lot of identity crisis that was infused in each of these Hindu female bodies. So this is how there was this 700 plus years of Hindu persecution. Especially, they used the card of women and children. They targeted women and children and ensured that the very self-dignity and the identity of this women and children is questioned. Then, for the last 27 years, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, the avatar of Paramashiva himself, he has revived the Hindu feminism to its original glory in so many initiatives. And one such initiative is the revival of Yogini Satangapita, where the female monks, there were about 150 of us. The whole campus was completely administered by female bodies, right from construction, maintaining the deities, lifting the deities, performing pujas, doing healing services, doing annadan. Every single activity in that monastery and in the university was completely managed by female bodies. and the ideas, the values with which we were functioning, it is extremely progressive. It is the revival of true Hindu feminism. So the whole revival activity happened at least for 10 months in Gujarat. So, but the revival of Yogini Sarvanyapeetham, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has been doing it for many years, more than a decade. But especially in the place of Gujarat, for about 10 months, this activity was happening, where all the practiced various techniques and methodologies to ensure to operate from the space of a yogini. So we used to express extraordinary powers of Paramashiva and heal people. We used to work with the blind children, we used to work with deaf and dumb mute children. We used to work with diverse communities to spread the truths and the benefits of Hinduism with them. So wherever we used to go, there's a lot of reverence and appreciation for the values that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was infusing in us, because it is all about revival of true Hindu feminism. So this is how we used to live for about 10 months in Gujarat at the Yogini Sarvanyapeetham.
Thank you, Ma Pranapriya. As you shared, in Hinduism, various matrilineal-based lineages peacefully coexisted together. Women were yoginis. They were empowered with powers that they used to heal and bring peace to humanity. And because women were so powerful, expressing such authority and leadership, false propaganda in the field of education and other important aspects of the community was spread to destroy the very backbone of the ancient enlightened civilization. And I wanted to share the vision of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism for the Yogini Sarvanyapeetham. So in a patriarchal, deep-rooted, misogynistic society, as we know, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been relentless in his efforts to empower women. And the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism shared his vision for the Yogini Sarvanyapeetham. He said, quote, "It will have a unique temple, monastery, university, training center exclusively for women. It is meant to be funded only by women, operated and run only by women. It will also have centers for healthcare and huge hospitals for women centered around the temple complex. It will revive Ayurvedic and Siddha medicine, the Gurukul system, ancient Vedic education system, which made the youth enlightened, the Annalaya, the organic Hindu kitchen, Hindu libraries, preserving sacred knowledge and making it accessible to all, etc. Food, education, and healthcare will be free as per Hindu Shastras, the scriptures. All the spiritual, superconscious gifts from Kailasa will be shared with women." He said, the Yogini Sarvanyapeetham will be the largest spiritual organization for women around the world and a place for women to go to for any spiritual need. Ultimately, the Yogini Sarvanyapeetham will have the capacity to welcome millions of women as residents, students, and powerful manifestors, unquote. Such a powerful vision that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has successfully brought to reality. And next, I would like to ask you the question. So when it comes to the destruction of the Yogini Sarvanyapeetham, could you share with our live international audience the human rights violation you have directly experienced and witnessed during the attack on the Yogini Sarvanyapeetham, including when it related to minor girls?
Yes. So when it comes to violation of human rights, one of the things that starkly impacted me was the fundamental idea that what did I do wrong? Because the way our lives was empowered and enriched by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism was something which I've never experienced before, being in the Hindu community. But after I took up sannyas, the way I held myself with so much of respect, I felt being a woman is so awesome. So it is of such a great contribution, because you can contribute so much to the humanity. So many services, community services that we were engaged in, I really felt so empowered being a woman. So that I really felt I'm only doing good to people, right? So because the amount of community services that we were engaged in from morning till night, it was so much that we felt so enriched by the whole ambience and what we were doing. But for the first time, the idea about life, that itself was questioned. What did I do wrong that I have to be targeted? The only thing that I'm doing is heal people, spread peace, spread happiness. We are only trying to educate them with good values. What did we really do to having to go through such an attack? So the fundamental view of life, that life is so unfair, that was the first thing that I felt. Being the victim, that was the first thing that I felt, because I was only doing good to people. I never felt that so much of hatred can prevail, and why I have to go through this kind of thing. It is so unfair is what I felt at the time. And the other thing is not just me. So many of us, all of us are working together to revive this ancient tradition. We have no other hidden agenda. Only thing that we are doing is to heal people, to do community services, to empower women and make them feel worthy of their existence and celebrate their existence. This is the only agenda that we had, and that is what we believe the humanity really needs. Why should we go through this kind of an attack, right? When we have no agenda, no other agenda other than just spreading peace and goodness to the community. And the sad part of it was when we were going through this attack. I remember the first day when we were attacked by a lot of anti-Hindu elements with the help of police, and that was the first time we actually felt so threatened, because we didn't even have one man or any other person to come and support and even explain why you are being attacked. We didn't even know why we were being attacked. In the middle of the night, the whole campus was barged by the media, by policemen, by so many other officials. We didn't even know for what we were being attacked, and there was nobody that we could reach out to. So in many ways, it really affected our belief systems. That was the most painful thing, I would say. There was nobody to look up to who was going to help us. First, to even explain why we have been attacked and what wrong we have done so far, and why so much of hatred, just because we are women who's empowering the community, why so much of hatred should be there in the first place.
Yes, thank you, Ma Pranapriya, for sharing. And I had the fortune, of myself being at the Yogini Savanapita around Ma Pranapriya, and I must say it was such an active, positive, lifestyle and energy. The girls who were studying at the Gurukul, at the Yogini Sarvanyapita, they were empowered so much, and they were expressing powers, and it was such a enriching lifestyle that was just demolished within days. And we can only imagine how being treated in this way while working to empower and heal others must have been like. And we thank you so much for sharing your experience. And before we move into further questions, we would like to have a short break, and we will be back in just a few minutes. Thank you.
time itself is nothing but your decision to struggle with the same rut. Your decision to struggle with the same rut is time, Kala. Your decision to swallow time is Kala Bhairava. Stand. Be a conscious woman or man. Be conscious being. Shrink the time through conscious will persistence. Make the future into present by being ferocious with yourself. Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. I guarantee you, I will reach you wherever you are. Be alive, somehow be alive for next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. It's my commitment to humanity. I'm going to empower, enlighten each and every one of you with the fuel and energy of the parallel universe. I'll infuse this intense supernal effulgence DNA, Tejas, Ojas, Kundalini Shakti into your spine to consciously lift you to Kailasa. It is irreversible permanent enlightenment, irreversible power manifestation, irreversible permanent empowerment. Your consciousness as power at this moment to swallow, digest, clean up all negativity and all toxins. Develop a powerful will persistence. That's the most important asset for life. giving you some life positive blah blah. I am giving you the facts of life. I am triggering your consciousness. I am your Guru. I will make you enlightened. It's my commitment. Till you become Paramashiva, I won't rest. Don't worry at all. To all my disciples, I give you this as a boon. I'll swallow everything with which you are stuck and liberate you all. The moment you decide, your consciousness is the supreme identity you have. You will not empower your depression, your frustration, deal your problems, whether it is simple headache or depression, or the worst suicidal patterns, or life negativity, only through consciousness. Don't go for any other solution.
Nithyanandam, thank you and welcome back. And welcome back, Ma Prana Priya. And yes, so next, we would like to ask the next question to Ma Prana Priya. So Ma Prana Priya, based on what we've discussed before about the persecution that you personally went through, the destruction of the Yogini Sarvanyapita, what support did you receive when you sought justice? What support, if any, is available for women, especially in India, whose rights have been violated?
Actually, as a matter of fact, when the attack was happening in the campus, when we were attacked in the middle of the night by the media mafia and state elements, we didn't even have a proper legal support. No lawyer was allowed inside. We could not make phone calls. All our phones were taken away. All our gadgets were taken away. We were detained for 2 weeks. And we were questioned for more than 12 hours a day. I was questioned by 40 policemen more than 12 hours a day. And with no legal support, with no paperwork on why I've been questioned, why am I being attacked. No responsible answers were given. It's just I was detained, that's it. And all the minor children of the residential school that we were running, those children were taken away from me and they were tortured. We did not get food and water. The basic supplies were cut for about 2 weeks. They just wanted to ensure that we are tortured and we go against our leader because of the torture, the amount of torture that they did to us. After 2 weeks, when they knew that it was not possible, then I was lifted from my bed without any notice or anything. They just barged and came into my room, and they just lifted me and took me to the prison. And in the prison, they were working out on arrest warrant. So without an arrest warrant, I was taken to prison, and I was illegally arrested and was in judicial custody for 82 days. And throughout those 82 days, the media was completely running false propaganda. About 160 hours of false propaganda was spread on me and our community, day and night, to ensure that the whole public had hatred for us. And after all of this, after 82 days with long struggle, which is the really long struggle, I came out. And even after I came out, I was not allowed to move even 5 kilometers away from the city. I'm not a terrorist. I did not do any crimes. I'm just a simple monk who did healing, who is empowering women to stand up for their true values, true feminine values. That's what I did. But I was treated very inhumanely. I could not even move 5 kilometers away from the city for so many months. I really felt what is going on in my life, because all my life I've been traveling, I've met so many people. I've only tried to do good as what I understood as what my leader, my guru, Swamiji taught us. That's what we've been doing. Why should I go through so much of torture for no reason? So these are some of the things which really left a painful memory to all of us who went through this attack as a community. And in fact, there were many children who were tortured by the police itself. Some of the children, they cannot even use the restroom alone. Even now, it's been 3 years since the attack happened. But I know one of my residential children, she still feels so scared to use the restroom. So these attacks have actually psychologically affected us in a big way. Even to take a new step of reaching out or for talking to people, there is this inherent fear that what are their interests? Will they allow us to be? Will they allow us to really work on our whatever our goals are? Will we be allowed to work on it anymore? So these kind of inherent fears developed because of this kind of strong attack. And we actually knocked every door all the way to various organizations, and they only showed sympathy, but they could not really support us in any way.
Yes. Prana Priya, thank you so much for coming live with us on this very important day for women, as today is International Women's Day. Your courage and resilience in such a hostile environment is highly commendable and a source of strength for so many. Fortunately, you have been empowered so much. The women and girls of Kailasa have been empowered so much by the teachings of the Supreme Hinduism by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, that you are able to withstand and continue with your work. As the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism says, always, let us go on contributing, and contributing. And now, as we get ready to receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who will be conferring the Kailasa Ratna Award, Kailasa's highest civilian award, to the Princess Dipyo Mukulu of the Bathlaro Kingdom, and also to the Prince of the Bathlaro Kingdom. So now we will be welcoming the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to confer the awards personally and move on to the presidential address. Thank you, Nithyanandam.